Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Motor Racing channel. We are about to go racing for the feature race here at the Red Bull Ring. We are moments away from lights out. Top 5 from that sprint race, unable to qualify. We've got Matahirovic lining up on pole position just ahead of Fury. Sutty Apex and Aussie Albi lining up on the second row. Bullen getting it up there in P5. Good showing from Bullen there in that qualifying session. We've got DJ Phil sat P6 on the grid. Smoky Devil, Nick De Villa, Ayrton Stefano and Flaky rounding out the top 10. And obviously those 5 at the bottom unable to qualify for this feature race due to the rules on the top 5 cannot qualify. So those rules actually going out of the window for next season, but this is the final time that you will see that on our Friday Night League. In fact, Friday Night League's next season getting completely scrapped here on Project Cars 2. We'll be racing on F1 2020 from next season on Friday night. So if you enjoy F1 2020, if that's your type of thing, then make sure you come over and join us. We're moments away now from the start of this feature race, almost ready to go green. Here we go then, guys, we're about to go racing here at the Red Bull Ring. Massive image on the right hand side of your screen with Fury alongside him, Sutty and Aussie Albi behind those guys, and we are underway, we are racing. And it looks like immediately a few guys in the background got some good starts off the line. We're seeing 3 wide, 4 wide here, coming up towards turn 1 in the mid pack. It looks like Bullen, DJ Phil, Ayrton Stefano and Smoky Devil pretty close here, and somebody's hit the wall on the inside. I think that might be DJ Phil down to P13 already. We saw him getting all sorts of out of shape as we got Matovic holding on to the lead here, coming up the hill. Sutty and Fury look like going side by side here. Is Fury going to make a move to the inside? It looks like, oh, it's actually Sutty on the inside there, making a move, getting ahead of Fury onto the brakes. We've got Aussie Albi sat P4, Ayrton Stefano, Bullen has got ahead of Gary into 6th place. It looks like Sebas Stefano has got a decent start. The only G following him through. Sebas, the only G and Flaky up into 8th, 9th and 10th respectively at the moment. Nick De Villa, Penguin Dude, Smoky Devil and DJ Phil at the back then. It's a massive image leading the way. It looks like Sutty's dived on the inside of Fury, pushed it a little bit wide, but Fury's going to get a better exit out of the turn 3, and looks like he has the run. Sutty might lose a couple of positions here. It looks like Aussie Albi's looking pretty hot on the outside, so Aussie Albi looks like he has got that position done on Sutty Apex. Sutty's going to have to be careful he doesn't get passed by Ayrton Stefano around the outside. In the end, it looks like Aussie Albi having a slight hesitation coming through Lauda Kurt prevented Ayrton Stefano from driving around the outside of Sutty Apex, and now Sutty having a look at Albi as well, but Ayrton trying to fend off Sutty Apex. These guys are still side by side as they come down the hill in towards the braking zone for the penultimate corner. In the end, Ayrton Stefano just about manages to hold off Sutty Apex, but that was some great racing here on the opening lap of this race. But it is massive image leading the way, and he's extending his margin at the front. 1.6 seconds he's got over Fury at the moment. Fury still at P2, and it looks like Ayrton and Sutty once again having a bit of a ding dong here. It looks like, sorry, Aussie Albi even now. Sutty Apex has dropped off a bit, down to P6 or P5 even, but Ayrton and Aussie Albi still side by side. It looks like actually Fury is going to hold these two off, but Ayrton and Fury, sorry, Ayrton and Aussie Albi still very close in the end. Aussie Albi able to hold on to that P3 just about. Bullen in the background here trying to hold off Flaky, but it looks like Flaky's actually got ahead of him on the exit of the corner. So Flaky up into P5, Bullen down to P6. We've got Sutty Apex currently sat 7th at the moment, a long way back to Gary in 8th place, just under 10 seconds off for the race leader. Nick De Villa currently chasing him, but he's got the only G looking to the outside here. Is the only G going to have to move on Nick De Villa as they come into the braking zone? I think he has. Yes, he does. The only G's up into 9th place. But some slow progress from him tonight, and also for Sebas Stefano as well. Really is struggling to pick his way through the pack, and he's down to 13th place here. And it looks like Penguin Dude's lost it. Penguin Dude is round on the exit of turn 3, puts it into the wall as he tries to get it pointing in the right direction. Smoky Devil gains that place up into P13, but it is a disaster for Penguin Dude at the start of this race. It could not have gone any worse for him, really. As we go to our race leader, Massive Image, he's got a 3-second gap at the moment over Fury, who's still trying to fend off Ayrton Stefano for 2nd place. Flaky currently sat 4th. Aussie Albi, Bullen and Sutty Apex very close on the track. Sutty Apex not quite able to get a move on him at the moment. Gary and the only G still battling over that 8th and 9th place in the background there. You can see them coming out onto the start-finish straight to complete lap 2 of the race. DJ Phil currently trying to fend off Sebas Stefano for 10th place. Nick De Villa in the background just watching this unfold. Smoky Devil and Penguin Dude, unfortunately for those guys, have dropped off a little bit as we see Sebas trying to make a move on Phil as he comes into turn 1, and DJ Phil closes the door and just about manages to keep the move there, but Sebas Stefano looking very, very hot on his heels at the moment. Can't quite get past him for the time being. Good defensive driving there from DJ Phil, to be fair to him. And he was not allowing Sebas to get through by any stretch at all. As we see, we've currently got a big battle going on for second place. Fury currently holding it, but Flaky and Ayrton looking to the other side. And it looks like Flaky and Ayrton and Stefano have come together. And there's a big collision there. You see those two both getting strewn across the racetrack. Ayrton down to P5, Flaky down to P8. And it looks like somebody's gone wide. Who's that? Somebody getting well out of shape there, offline onto the exit of the corner. That looks like it could have been, I think that must have been Flaky there going wide on the exit. But yeah, that's incredible stuff there. You saw Ayrton, Stefano and Flaky having a massive ding dong as they came into the braking zone into turn 3. But it's allowed Fury to get a bit of breathing space in P2. Currently Ayrton and Bullen separated by not much at the moment. Flaky and Aussie Albi very close as well. Now we know that there is history between these two. Flaky and Aussie Albi have come together in the past, namely early on in our GTE series, as it looks like somebody's gone off. That's Bullen there getting all sorts of out of shape, getting wide out to the last corner, and he's down to P8 now. It looks like G and Gary up into 6th and 7th respectively, but Flaky and Aussie Albi still separated by not much, and G's making the move on Gary into turn 1. It looks like he's got that move done. G is up into 6th place. Good move there up the inside from G. Gary now down to P7, but we're just watching this battle unfold here between Flaky and Aussie Albi. Flaky is trying to fend him off. Aussie Albi looking quicker at this stage in the race, but can't quite find a way through at the moment. Aussie Albi not quite able to get past him. G's trying to fend off what looks to be Gary at this point. Both of these two are a little bit out of position at the moment. We know these two are more than capable of fighting out at the front, but they're just not there at this particular point. In the meantime, Matahirovic just running away at the front of the field. He's currently flying in the lead of this race. 3.8 seconds is his lead. We're seeing a few comments coming in at the moment. Fury's granddad saying, "Come on, Fury." James Brody saying, "Go for it, Fury." So Fury definitely with a plethora of fans in the chat box tonight. Currently Matahirovic leading the way by 3.5 seconds at the moment over Fury. Ayrton Stefano currently sat P3. It looks like Ayrton's got on all sorts of out of shape there, running into the braking marker there, and manages to keep it pointing in the right direction, but he's lost the place to Flaky. G trying to hunt these guys down. Looks like Aussie Albi's dropped off a little bit off of this battle at the front. He's now got to watch out for Gary in his rearview mirrors at the moment. But fantastic racing from these boys in the opening few laps, and at the moment it's this man here, Matahirovic, who's currently looking very good for a race win. If he can just keep doing what he's doing, he's got a 4.5 second gap over Fury at the moment. Currently only drivers who are lapping quicker than him at the moment are Flaky and G, so Matahirovic definitely enjoying himself out the front, and obviously he's got some clear air. He's got a very open track in front of him, and he will definitely want to make the most of that at the moment. Fury still sat in P2. Flaky trying to fend off G with everything that he's got. He's also got Ayrton Stefano in hot pursuit at the moment. Gary and Aussie Albi still battling over 6th and 7th as well as these guys come in towards turn 3. It's Flaky currently holding the position. G and Ayrton Stefano looking very close, all over the back of him at the moment, and we're now surely Ayrton Stefano's going to fancy his chances on G. Gets a lovely run coming up towards Lauder Curve. In the end, Ayrton Stefano thinks better of that one, and G managing to hold on to that position just about. A little bit of a lock up there from Ayrton Stefano, maybe feeling a bit impatient at this point. He wants to find a way through up into that 4th place, but obviously G is being held up by Flaky as well, so neither of these guys quite able to make some headway at this point. And this might allow Fury to get away in P2. Matahirovic still doing what he's been doing for the duration of this feature race so far, lap 5 of 19, and he is still driving off into the sunset at this point. I say sunset, the sun has well and truly gone down here in the Styrian Mountains, and it is more or less twilight at this point. But we've got Flaky here still just about holding off G and Ayrton Stefano. These guys onto the brakes, and G gets sideways. G's round. G loses the car. The only G gets out of shape. He's dropped now down to 5th place. He's fallen back into the clutches of Gary. That's a disaster there for G. He was the winner in our sprint race earlier on, but this could not have gone any worse for him. And he's now got Gary all over his rearview mirrors in this battle here for 5th and 6th, but it's given Flaky a bit of breathing space now. He's still got Ayrton Stefano all over the back of him, but that will not have helped G one bit at all. Down to 5th place after that is G. But we've still got a battle going on between Flaky and Ayrton Stefano. Currently, G looks like he's pulled up onto the back of the Monster. Oh no! G has lost the car! G's had a half spin there coming out of turn 3, and Gary will pick up that position. He moves up into P5, so G just, I don't know if he's made any changes to the setup or what it is, but he seems to be struggling a little bit at this point. Obviously, the temperatures, the track temperatures will have dropped considerably, and maybe his setup, maybe he's got the wrong tyre pressures on, possibly, I don't know, but he's sticking to the back of Gary at the moment, but that will not have helped G at all here in this race. As we see, it looks like the race leader Matahimovic is coming into the pits for his mandatory pit stop pretty early on in this race. That will release Fury up into second, or up into the lead now. Ayrton Stefano's still managing to, Ayrton Stefano's still just behind Flaky at this point. And we've got side by side in the background. Looks like G making a move on Gary into turn 1, and he's got the move done. Brilliant stuff there from G. Aussie Albi and Bullen still separated by not very much at all. We've got Sutty Apex currently running in P8 at the moment.
Messenger audio.
We've got Seba Stefano currently sat in P9, and we've got Matahimovic just emerging from the pits. So Fury still leading the race at the moment by 0.8 of a second. So Fury still holding a slender lead, but Flaky and Ayrton Stefano definitely reeling him in at this point. Ayrton's pulled out a little bit to the only G at the moment, but G still very much keeping him within his sight. Last time round was a scruffy one for G, as we saw. But he seems to have got himself back into a rhythm again. Well, I was questioning whether maybe it was the tyre pressures, obviously with the much cooler conditions that we would have been experiencing at the night time here. So Fury still holding a slender lead at the moment to Flaky. Ayrton Stefano's dropped off at the back of Flaky a little bit over the last couple of laps. And G looks like he's made another mistake there, because he's now 4 seconds off of the race leader Fury, 2.5 seconds behind Ayrton Stefano at this point. Seba Stefano has got Matahimovic all over his rearview mirrors here. Both of these, well, no, Matahimovic has actually already been into the pits, having been the race leader, but Seba Stefano, a very, very talented driver by his own account. In fact, he is actually the champion of this V6 Megane division. So he obviously wrapped up the championship last week. He will not be too concerned about this week's racing. I'm sure he wants to be up there regardless, but he is already the champion of this division, and he's got Matahimovic very close behind him now on the track. Matt will want to get this position done as soon as he can and move up into some clear air, because he is fighting for the victory. He won't want Fury, Flaky, Ayrton and G to be gaining too much on him in this pit window. So the battle for the lead still raging on. Fury holding off Flaky. Flaky now clinging on by the skin of his teeth ahead of Ayrton Stefano in the battle for second place. So coming to turn 1, it looks like Ayrton Stefano is still a little bit too far to go for a move. And it looks like Ayrton getting sideways there on the exit of turn 1, just about managed to keep onto it. But that was very, very close there to snapping the wrong way. And he could have easily ended up facing the wrong way out of turn 1. In the end, he just about keeps it pointing in the right direction. But Ayrton Stefano on a knife's edge here, trying to get past Flaky. Might drop him back into the clutches of G in a few moments' time. Oh, as we see Flaky there losing the car, getting all sorts of sideways on the exit of turn 2, and now Ayrton Stefano is going to go side by side with him as he come up towards turn 3. Who's going to be late on the brakes? It looks like Ayrton is slightly ahead on the outside. Flaky surely going to go late on the brakes and try and defend his move on the inside, but Flaky goes deep and he goes off the track, and Ayrton Stefano moves back up into P2. I would say that was probably the fault of Flaky, to be honest with you. He went very, very late on the brakes, almost a dive bomb move, and in the end, couldn't get the car stopped in time. Ayrton did give him a small nudge as he was going by, but to be fair, Ayrton had nowhere to go. Flaky had sort of just got himself in a position he shouldn't really have been in. So Ayrton Stefano up into P2. G just over a second behind Ayrton at the moment. Fury still leading the race by a second and a half, but Bullen sat in P5. I think Bullen will still hold on to that P3 in the championship as it stands. It looks like we've got the only G in P3. Looks like he obviously made that move on Flaky. Those guys just putting a lap there on what looks to be DJ Phil, I believe. Yes, it is. Flaky a few seconds down the road from these guys, but Fury leading the race at the moment by 1.4 seconds at the front of the field. So Fury leading the race by 1.1 seconds at the moment. Keep an eye on Matahirimic, because obviously he has already been into the pits for his mandatory stop. He was leading the race when he came in as well, but I think Sebastefano is more than a match for him at the moment, and Matahirimic not able to quite make a move past him. We believe that Sebastefano does still need to come in to the pits at some point in this race. I'll just double check to make absolutely certain of that though. Can't confirm. Yeah, Sebastefano still needs to come in. He hasn't made his mandatory pit stop. Yeah, he definitely hasn't been in. So Matahirimic currently sat 8th at the moment, and with a potential net lead of the race. It looks like G's getting involved in the action at the front here. G's got ahead of Ayrton Stefano and up into turn 1. It looks like G's made the move on Fury for the lead, but Fury tries to undercut him on the exit here. We're side by side as we come out of turn 1 up the hill, and flash the lights there in the background from Ayrton Stefano trying to distract these guys in the mirrors. I don't know if there was a little bit of argy-bargy going on in the build up to that, but at the moment it's G on the outside. Looks like he has the move coming into turn 2. Is Fury going to go for a late move up the inside? He is, and Fury's going to try and hold on to it. Pushed him a little bit wide, and Ayrton Stefano gets both of them on the exit. Unbelievable racing there from Ayrton Stefano. Manages to pass both of them coming out of the corner. Fury still holding on to P2. G on the outside trying to get involved in this action, but it looks like Fury has kept onto that P2, but he loses P1 to Ayrton Stefano. Incredible stuff here. Lap 11 of this race, and these guys are giving it absolutely everything to hold on for this P1. In the background, it looks like Matahirimic has actually got ahead of Sebastefano for 6th place. He's 20 seconds off of this battle. We know that a pit stop loses you about 25 seconds here at the Red Bull Ring. So Matahirimic should, I think, be pretty much on for the race victory if he can keep doing what he's doing, as we see there Sutty Apex getting all sorts of out of shape on the exit of turn 3. Loses places there. Flaky, Matahirimic and Sebastefano all moving up to 4th, 5th and 6th respectively. Disaster there for Sutty Apex, but Ayrton Stefano currently leading this race. He's got ahead of Fury and the only G, and G's coming into the pits for his mandatory pit stop now. So there we go, G deciding to bring it in at the end of lap 11. 8 laps left to go. It's now going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Matahirimic, who was leading the race when he came in for his stop. I'm expecting Matahirimic to come out ahead of G, and indeed it looks like he will. There is Matahirimic in the background, just coming down the start finish straight. G is just crossing the line now. Matahirimic is going to very comfortably emerge in front of him. I think Matahirimic has got to be almost a nailed on dead cert for this victory. Let's see what the gap is to G once G actually gets to the end of the pit lane though. So Matahirimic is 22 seconds off of the lead, and G is 28 seconds off of the race lead. So there's 6 seconds separating Matt and G at the moment. Ayrton had a 2-second gap to G when G came in. So Ayrton Stefano, I think, has got to find about 3 or 4 seconds on Matahirimic. He needs a gap of about 23, 24 seconds over our man in P4 if he's going to take the race win. Now obviously if you're just joining us, I'll just remind you that the top 3 do still need to come in for their mandatory pit stop. Everyone from 4th downwards has already been in, so that means that Ayrton, Fury and Flaky, the guys in 1, 2 and 3, do need to come in at some point over the course of the next 7 laps. So Matimovic, I believe, is the net race leader here in this race, but the question is, can Ayrton Stefano get the job done and get his foot down over the course of these next few laps and potentially jump Matimovic in the pit stops? We'll have to wait and see. This is still very much race on at the moment. Very much race on at the moment, and we've got Fury currently sat in 2nd place. Lots of support coming in for Fury in the comments section at the moment as well. And obviously Fury, if you guys didn't already know, actually had an operation a few days ago. He's obviously been through a very difficult week, and he's bounced back, has got himself in shape in order to race tonight, which is quite admirable really, and he's doing a fantastic job out on track at the moment. Currently 2nd place here in this race, 2.8 seconds off of the race leader. Does appear to be closing in a little bit actually on Ayrton Stefano. He's got the gap at under 3 seconds. It was quite clearly over 2 seconds a moment ago, as we see somebody off in the background there. Who's that? I don't know if that was a lap car, but somebody there looks like they've just retired from the race. I thought for a split second that was Ayrton Stefano, the race leader, who had lost the car. Fury may have thought the same thing and been counting his blessings, but it looks like he's at the moment still sat P2. Ayrton Stefano keeping that gap around 3 seconds at the moment to Fury. Flaky still sat 3rd at the moment. Got Matimovic running in 4th with Sebas Stefano very close behind him at the moment. Sebas has a look toward the inside coming through Berger, but he's not quite able to get the move done at the moment. G has closed the gap to Matimovic and Sebas down to 4 seconds now. It looks like Ayrton and Flaky are both coming in for their stops. So Ayrton Stefano in the box. Is he going to get away before Flaky gets there? He's just about. So it was close there. Ayrton almost lost some time to Flaky in the pit box, but in the end he manages to avoid that particular problem. So there goes Matimovic now to take P2 there. Ayrton Stefano just coming on the exit of the pit lane now. So it looks like G manages to jump both Flaky and... Oh, it looks like G might jump Ayrton Stefano here as well. These guys coming down straight up towards turn 2. I think these guys are going to be side by side. Ayrton Stefano might just hold off G. What's going on?